WMCA New York, and the world on Radio AOL at WMCA.com.
970 WWDJ Hackensack.
WTTT Hackensack. AM 970 WWDJ, your home for faith and truth, and Dr. Laura.
AM 570 WMCA New York Christian Talk, a division of Salem Communications on the NASDAQ at SALM. AM 570 WMCA New York's Christian Talk. AM 570 and 102.3 FM The Mission. WMCA New York City. Help us change the world.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. WEAF, New York.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. Quarter of a minute past 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Saving Time. WEAF, New York.
WEAF, New York.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. It's NBC for dependable news and reliable reports. In 30 minutes, Lyle Van will bring you all the news and the news behind the news. Listen at 6 o'clock tonight over this station, WEAF, NBC in New York. And now stay tuned for Just Plain Bill.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Six p.m. GRUEN, Gruen Precision Watch Time. The Curvex, exclusive with Gruen. WEAF, NBC in New York.
All right! It's 1:05 at WNBC, New York. Yeah! NBC 66, WNBC.
Wake up with Imus in the morning and drive home with Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon. All here on your flagship station for New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock.
If it's Imus in the morning, Mac and Sid from 10 to 1, and Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon, the station you're listening to is the flagship station for New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York, an Infinity broadcasting station. WFAN New York. Broadcasting in HD and streaming at WFAN.com. We're your flagship station for Imus in the morning, Mike and the Mad Dog in the afternoon, and New York sports all day. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN New York.
This is WFAN Radio in New York. Streaming on your computer at WFAN.com. It is 8 o'clock and time for the local headline stories, including the story that is developing this morning out of Fairview, New Jersey.
The New York Giants are in the NFC Championship game as they face Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers this Sunday night at 6:35 with pregame coverage at 5:05. Listen to all the action exclusively on your flagship station for Boomer and Carton mornings from 6 to 10, Bonino and Roberts middays from 10 to 1, and Mike and the Mad Dog afternoons from 1 till 6:30. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN HD, New York.
707, Boomer and Carton on The Fan.
Your flagship station for New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, WFAN HD, and WXRK HD3, New York.
All right, just after 9 o'clock.
New York's #1, Sports Radio 66, WFAN, New York.
11:57 on The Fan.
The ball game's over, and the Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
Your flagship station for the Super Bowl champion New York Giants, along with Boomerang Carton mornings from 6 to 10, Benigno and Roberts middays from 10 to 1, and Mike Francesa afternoons from 1 to 6:30 is The Fan. Sports Radio 66, WFAN, WFAN HD, and WXRK HD3, New York.
WFAN 2020.
Good afternoon, 5 o'clock. This is John Minko.
5 o'clock, WFAN in New York, WFAN 660 AM and 101.9. In New York, here's Mr. Met.
Listen weekdays in the 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. hours for your chance to win tickets to see the Super Bowl champion Giants play the Green Bay Packers, courtesy of MetLife Stadium and your flagship station for Giants football. The Fan, Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
WFAN 2020 Sports.
Good evening at 5 o'clock. I'm Bob Houston.
Your home for Major League Baseball's All-Star Game on July 16th at Citi Field and Super Bowl 48 on February 2nd at MetLife Stadium is your flagship station for Mets baseball and Giants football. The Fan, Sports Radio 66 and Sports Radio 101.9 FM, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
Good morning. Coming on at 6 o'clock, I'm Jerry Recco.
Right now, 11 o'clock, CeeLo's got the update.
Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
WFAN.
Listen to Boomer and Geo mornings 6 to 10, Benigno and Roberts middays 10 to 2, and the afternoon drive from 2 p.m. to 6:30 with Chris Carlin, Maggie Gray, and Bart Scott, with your chance to win $300 at 3 p.m. and $500 at 5 p.m. exclusively on your flagship station for New York sports. The Fan, Sports Radio 101.9 FM and Sports Radio 66, WFAN and WFAN FM, New York.
WFAN Sports Flash.
Good afternoon at 4 o'clock. I'm Chris Lopresti.
The preceding program was furnished by CBS Radio. Your dial is set for 10 minutes of late news with John Scott reporting from the 710 newsroom. This is WOR New York, an RKO General Station.
Parents versus Kids right here on the Barry Farber Show at 8:15 on WOR New York.
You're tuned to 710 WOR, New York's first AM HD radio station, streaming and podcasting at WOR710.com.
Good afternoon, everybody. Here's the WOR News at 5 o'clock.
Real Talk Radio, WOR, New York, broadcasting in high definition at 710 HD.
WOR News at 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Shelley Strickler.
Real Talk Radio, WOR, New York, Joe Bartlett, Donna Hanover, and the WOR Morning Show. A great way to start your day.
Good morning. This is WOR News at 8 o'clock.
Bigger and better. News Talk Radio 710 WOR New York. Now with John Gambling. Weekday mornings.
52 degrees at 6 o'clock.
Bigger and better. News Talk Radio 710 WOR and WOR HD. New York. Home of John Gambling. Weekday mornings.
It's 25 degrees at 8 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock. I'm Dave Spencer.
710 WOR and WOR HD. New York's best news talk radio. Home of John Gambling. Weekday mornings.
Sunny skies and 60 degrees at 12 noon.
It is 7 o'clock.
Your new wake-up call. Len Berman and Michael Riedel in the morning on the radio home of the Met. 710 WOR, the voice of New York.
An iHeart radio station.
It is 34 degrees at 7 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are concluding the first program in a new series sponsored by Canada Dry. The ginger ale now available made to order at drugstores and soda fountains, as well as in bottles. Canada Dry has presented Jack Benny Ethel Chuppé, and George Olson and his music. The same group of artists will be with you at this time Wednesday evening. Drums in My Heart from Through the Years is played tonight with the special permission of the copyright owners. This is the National Broadcasting Company. WJZ, New York.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. WJZ, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gene Paul King on behalf of Colgate-Palmolive Peach, inviting you to tune in again 1 week from tonight, the same station, for another episode in the House of Glass. Tonight's presentation featured in person Madame Ernestine Schumann-Height. These dramalogues are written by Gertrude Bird. And so a very, very friendly good night until next week at the House of Glass.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
WJZ, New York. WJZ, New York. WJZ, New York.
This is the radio station you grew up with. News, opinion, passion. The #1 news talk station in the nation. WABC, New York City.
It's 6 o'clock.
This is News Talk Radio 77 WABC, New York City. It's 12 o'clock.
The official station of election 2008. 77 on the AM dial and worldwide at WABCRadio.com.
Radio 77, WABC, New York City.
It's 8 o'clock under God.
Imus in the morning with breaking news and stimulating talk all day long.
News Talk Radio 77, WABC, New York City.
It's 8 o'clock.
Broadcasting over the land of the free and the home of the brave. 77 WABC, New York.
This is where New York comes to talk. Legendary 77 WABC, New York. A Cumulus station. This is where New York comes to talk. Legendary 77 WABC, New York. A Cumulus station.
NJDiet.com studios. WPLJ HD3 New York. 77 WABC, New York. A Cumulus station. News now. 77 WABC. NJDiet.com studios. 77 WABC, New York. A Cumulus station. News now.
This is New York's talk leader, the crown jewel of talk radio. WABC New York and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays. News first at 59 past the hour.
77 WABC News starts now.
77 WABC.
WABC New York and 107.1 WLIR Hampton Bays.
WABC. Yeah, Cousin Brucey.
Morning is broken, everybody. This is Bruce Morrow in New York City in the evening.
Cousin Brucey.
First the news. This is New York Public Radio, WNYC FM and AM New York, and WNYC.org.
This is WNYC New York and WNYC.org. It's about 24 degrees, but feels like 12 degrees at 8:59.
And you're listening to 93.9 FM, WNYC New York, and online at WNYC.org. Good evening, I'm Terrence McKnight, and it's 61 degrees here in the city. 2 minutes past 7 o'clock.
Cloudy with scattered showers late this evening, the low 56. Currently fair skies in Central Park, 63 degrees, WNYC New York, 4 o'clock.
You're listening to WNYC AM and FM New York. Good morning, I'm Isaac Davy Aronson with your weather forecast. A sunny day on the way with an afternoon high near...
You are tuned to WNYC, New York City's own station.
WNYC 93.9 FM, AM 820, and WNYC.org.
WNYC at 9 o'clock.
This is WNYC, AM, FM, and HD, New York.
This is WNYC,
93.9 FM and HD, New York.
WNYC2 from New York Public Radio, bringing you 500 years of new music 24/7.
This is WABC in the city of New York. WABC, New York.
You are listening to the Lux Radio Theater's presentation of Dulcie, starring Zazu Pitts and featuring Gene Lockhart. The next act will be presented in just a moment. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. WABC, New York.
10 p.m. BULOVA, Bova Watch Time. WABC, New York.
New York spells news. WCBS. News Radio 88. WCBS New York. All news. All day, all night.
WCBS News Time at the tone, 1 o'clock.
News, traffic, and weather. On air, online. We are News Radio. WCBS New York.
Celebrating 50 years of news in New York. This is News Radio 880, WCBS, WCBS HD, and WCBS FM HD2, New York. Good morning. New York's home for news, traffic, and weather. This is News Radio 880, WCBS, WCBS HD, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
This is WCBS, WCBS HD, and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
Polskie Radio. AM 1030, AM 910, WRKL, New City, New York, and AM 1580, WLIM, Patchogue, Long Island, and Southern Connecticut.
AM 1030 WNVR, Vernon Hills, Chicago. AM 1300 WRDZ, LaGrange, Chicago. FM 107.1 W296DA, Vernon Hills. 1031 W276BM, Tinley Park. And FM 104.7 W284DA, Chicago. Polska Radio, Chicago. AM 910 WRKL, New City, New York. Polska Radio, New York.
Usted está en sintonía con Cántico Nuevo Ministries. 1520 AM, WJDM, Mineola, New York. Rebroadcasting 97.5 FM, W248CG, Jersey City, New Jersey. 910 AM, WRKL, New City, New York. 1370 AM, WLID, Patchogue, New York. 95.7 FM, W239CY, Patchogue, New York. 96.5 FM, W243BF, Shirley, New York. 103.3 FM, KDFM, Falfurrias, Texas. Y para el mundo, a través de radiocánticonuevo.com. Usted está en sintonía con Cántico Nuevo Ministries, con más de 10,000 vatios de potencia. 1530 AM, WJDM, Mineola, New York. Rebroadcasting 97.5 FM, W248CG, Jersey City, New Jersey. 910 AM, WRKL, New City, New York. 1370 AM, WLID, Patchogue, New York. 95.7 FM, W239CY, Patchogue, New York. 107.1 FM, W296EK, Brentwood, New York. 103.3 FM, KDFM, Falfurrias, Texas. Y para el mundo, a través de radiocánticonuevo.com.
This is WNYG 1440 AM, Bedford, New York. 1440 AM is WNYG.
Rebroadcasting W268 AM, 101.5 FM, Plainview, New York. This is W292 DV, 106.3 FM, New York, New York.
This is W252 CS, 98.3 FM, Brooklyn, New York.
WPAT 930, Patterson.
WPAT
AM 930 WPAT Patterson.
WNYM Hackensack, the talk of New York. AM 970 The Apple. Streaming now at am970theapple.com. WNYM Hackensack, the talk of New York. AM 970 The Apple. It is now 8 o'clock.
From the studios of AM 970 The Answer on Broadway and Wall Street in Manhattan, this is WNYM Hackensack, New Jersey, New York City.
I'm Dave Henderson. This is 1010 WINS WINS New York, serving New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut.
And our nonstop news coverage continues now on 1010 WINS WINS New York, with more listeners than any other station in the nation. Jose Osoria is our service aide.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 WINS. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
WINS, WINS HD, WWFS HD3 New York.
WINS News Time, 7:59.
WINS News Time, 4:59.
WINS, WINS HD, WAW HD3 New York.
WINS News Time, 2:59.
WPN New York. This is the home of New York sports superstars. Mike and Mike, Colin Cowherd, Stephen A. and Patrick, Keith Olbermann, and Michael K. 1050 ESPN Radio, the sports talk of New York. WPN New York. This is the home of New York sports superstars. Mike and Mike, Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, and Patrick, and Michael K. 1050 ESPN Radio, the sports talk of New York. WPN New York. It's Super January on 1050 ESPN New York. One-of-a-kind experiences every day in January. For more, log on to 1050ESPNradio.com.
1050 ESPN New York. The biggest names and the biggest games. WEPN New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. You're listening to 1050 ESPN. Your home for New York Islanders hockey. WEPN New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
DC. WEPN New York.
The all-new ESPN New York. WRKS 98.7 FM. WRKS HD. WEPN 1050 AM. New York. The all-new ESPN New York. WEPN. WEPN FM. WEPN HD1. New York.
I'm Doug Brown. The New York Yankees have the best...
This is ABC 7's coverage of Hurricane Sandy on WEPN FM, WEPN HD1 New York. This is ESPN New York 98.7 FM, your home for the NBA Finals. WEPN FM, WEPN HD1 New York. This is your home for New York football. This is ESPN New York 98.7 FM, WEPN FM, WEPN HD1, New York. 90 seasons of New York Rangers hockey. New York Rangers hockey is on 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
We are broadcasting over WAM, and this comes to you direct from the Edison Studios. WAM, located at 1 Bond Street, Newark, operates on a frequency of 1120 kilocycles. This is WAM, 1 Bond Street, Newark, New Jersey.
From the financial capital of the world, via satellite radio and on the internet. This is WBBR, New York, Bloomberg 1130. From the financial capital of the world, via satellite radio and on Bloomberg.com. This is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130.
From the financial capital of the world, via satellite radio and on Bloomberg.com. This is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130.
From the financial capital of the world, via satellite radio and on Bloomberg.com. This is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130.
From the financial capital of the world at Bloomberg.com and on the Radio Plus mobile app. This is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130.
This is The Voice, WVNJ, Oakland, New Jersey, and streaming live at WVNJ.com. This
is The Voice, WVNJ, Oakland, New Jersey, and streaming live at WVNJ.com. Your news, talk, and information station, The Voice, 1160 WVNJ, Oakland, New Jersey, and WVNJ.com.
You're listening to Imhotep Gary Bird's Mind Flight, your gateway to the Black Experience on 1190 AM WLIB, New York. And now, here's Imhotep Gary Bird.
1600 WWRL, New York.
This is news on New York's Progressive Radio, 1600 WWRL.
It's 30 degrees at 8 a.m.
1190 WLIB, New York's praise and inspiration station.
This is 1190 WLIB and WBLS HD2, New York.
This is your home for gospel, inspiration, and information. 1190 WLIB and WBLS HD2, New York.
1190 WLIB, New York, New York. Westchester's soft favorites. AM 1230, WFAS. White Plains, Westchester, a Cumulus media station.
WFAS 1230.
This is Westchester's soft favorites. AM 1230 WFAS, White Plains, Westchester, a Cumulus station. It's 8 o'clock. This is AM 1230 WFAS, White Plains, Westchester Radio, a Cumulus station. It's 3 o'clock.
All sports, all day, every day. From the Entergy Studios, this is CBS Sports Radio, home of Gio and Jones in the morning. On AM 1230 WFAS, White Plains.
All sports, all day, every day. This is CBS Sports Radio. And now another hour of sports news for Westchester County and beyond on AM 1230 WFAS, White Plains, a Cumulus station.
Online at cbssports.com/radio. This is WCBS FM HD3, New York, your 24-hour-a-day flagship home for the all-new CBS Sports Radio Network. You're listening to New York's home for CBS Sports Radio on your FM dial. 1019 WFAN FM HD2, New York.
An Odyssey station.
AM 1230, only in digital. WFAS White Plains, new talk for New York. WFAS White Plains, digital AM 1230. New talk for New York.
New talk for New York. WFAS AM White Plains. WFAS FM Bronxville, a Cumulus media station.
WADO, 1280 AM, New York. WADO, 1280 AM, New York.
Guado 1280.
Somos Euforia.
WADO AM, Guado 1280 AM, WXNY HD2, New York, TUDN Radio. Vivimos tu pasión. Guado 1280 AM, en Nueva York es TUDN Radio. WADO AM, Guado 1280 AM, WXNY HD2, New York, TUDN Radio. Vivimos tu pasión.
All right, it's 8 o'clock. This is WRCR Spring Valley, AM 1300 Radio Rockland. We are streaming live at WRCR.com. 24 degrees, headed for 41.
All right, nice to have you back, Charlie.
The fires have been fueled. At WRCR Spring Valley, the news is next, and then we'll open the...
WRCR and WRCR HD Ramapo, it is 8 o'clock.
It's AM 1700, WRCR Haverstraw, WRCR.com. World and National News is up next. It's 8:01.
Originando desde la costa noreste de los Estados Unidos, con más de 10 frecuencias. Esta es una señal internacional. WWRB 1330 AM New York, WRBP 1310 AM Mount Kisco, WWCL 1440 AM Fort Myers, Florida, WVCN 1580 AM Columbia, Pennsylvania, WTOC 1360 AM Newton, New Jersey, 530 AM Caicos Island, British West Indies, o a través de www.radiovision.net para el mundo. La emisora
emisora de Dios para la familia de hoy, Radiovisión Cristiana.
Las 3 de la tarde.
Bienvenidos a la celebración más grande de este año.
El 27 aniversario de la emisora de Dios.
WWRV 1330 AM New York. WRVP 1310 AM Mount Kisco. WWCL 1440 AM Fort Myers, Florida. WVCN 1580 AM Columbia, Pennsylvania. 530 AM Caicos Island, British West Indies.
27 aniversario de Radiovisión.
Celebrando la victoria que el Señor nos dio.
Ven y celebremos, ven y celebremos.
Vamos todos juntos a cantar.
Ven y celebremos, ven y celebremos. Con la emisora de Dios. Radiovisión. 27 aniversario de Radiovisión.
This is WWRV 1330 AM New York, KCKN 1020 AM Roswell, New Mexico, WRVP 1310 AM Mount Kisco, New York, WWCL 1440 AM Fort Myers, Florida, WVCN 1580 AM Columbia, Pennsylvania, W293DS 96.5 FM Columbia, Pennsylvania, proclaiming that Jesus Christ is Lord. WKDN, New York.
纽约华语广播电台。宣不息的热望如星。
WKDM 1380 AM New York。
AM 1380纽约华语广播电台。
WZRC 1480 AM New York。
AM 1480紐約華語廣播電台。
WZRC New York。
紐約華語廣播電台。
WZRC New York.
This is Danny Stiles, AM 1430 WNSW, Newark, New York City, a multicultural radio broadcast station. The program originates live in the Art Deco Penthouse studio.
AM 1430 WNSW, Newark, New York City.
Always loud and clear on your smart speaker. Details at relevantradio.com/smart.
Talk radio for Catholic life.
WNSW Newark, New York City, and WBNJ Oakland. Relevant Radio 1430 and 1160 AM.
You're listening to the music of your life on AM 1460 WVOX New Rochelle and 93.5 WVIP HD2 New Rochelle. From the top of the WVOX tower, broadcasting live each and every day. This is the voice of Westchester, 1460 WVOX and WVIP HD3 New Rochelle.
Thank you for listening to 1530 AM WJDM Elizabeth, New Jersey.
WQEW New York.
Radio Disney.
You're listening to Radio Disney on WBMP HD3 New York.
It's your music, your way.
What's up, guys? This is Justin Bieber.
This is Taylor Swift.
I'm Shawn Mendes.
Hi, I'm Adele.
We're 21 Pilots.
Radio Disney.
Give me some of that.
Around the clock and around the world, this is listener-supported family radio.
Preaching the good news of the gospel 24 hours a day at 1560 AM. This is WFME, New York City.
Hear the word. Family Radio. WFME, New York.
Coast to coast and in New York at 92.7. WFME FM, Garden City.
Biblical and faithful. Listener-supported family radio.
Coast to coast and in New York at 92.7. WFME FM, Garden City.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you'll tell your friends about us. We're WFME FM, Mount Kisco.
Witnessing the word worldwide, this is listener-supported family radio.
Your station for Christ-centered programming and music, and always commercial-free. This is WFME FM, Mount Kisco.
Proclaiming salvation in Jesus Christ alone, this is WFME, Newark.
Preaching the good news, the gospel at 94.7 FM. This is listener-supported WFME Newark, New York City.
WFME Newark, New York City.
Questions and answers from the Bible for the 21st century and the end of the church age, all part of the open forum, heard weeknights right here at WFME Newark, New York City. preaching the good news of the gospel 24 hours a day to the greater metropolitan area at 94.7 FM. This is listener-supported WFME Newark, New York City.
This is 1600 WWRL, New York.
You are listening to WWRL 1600 AM New York and WKXW 101.5 FM HD2 Trenton Radio Zindagi.
Now in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. We welcome our new listeners in Princeton, Cherry Hill, Atlantic City, Philadelphia, Easton, and Wilmington, Delaware.
WWRL-AM and WWPR-FM HD3, New York, the Black Information Network. Listen at BINnews.com.
Or tell your smart device to play New York's BIN 1600 on iHeartRadio.
1660 AM, WWRU, Jersey City, New York City. WWRU, Jersey City, New York, 1660 AM, WWRU.
From the
Top of that big blue building in Queens. 87.7 WNYZ New York. Pulse 87. Big blue building in Queens. 87.7 WNYZ New York. Pulse 87. From the top of that big blue building in Queens. 87.7 WNYZ New York. Pulse 87.
You're listening to WNYZ. New York, New York.
WPTY, Calverton, Roanoke. WNYZ, New York. W268 AN, Plainview, New York.
Jazz 88, WBGO Newark. A gathering of voices.
A gathering for spontaneity.
A gathering of music.
This is the Jazz Bee from WBGO Newark, online and HD2.
WPSC, 88.7 FM, Wayne, New Jersey.
Part of the William Patterson Broadcast Network.
Broadcasting from Hamilton Hall, the Marconi Award-winning college radio station of the year.
Jersey's home for alt hip-hop.
Brave New Radio.
A tune-in and Radio FX station.
WPSC Wayne.
Broadcasting from the campus of William Patterson for Pompton Lakes, Clifton, and the entire Passaic County.
You're listening to Jersey's home for alt hip-hop.
88.7 Brave New Radio. Listen by asking your smart speaker to play Brave New Radio.
88.7 Brave New Radio.
You're listening to WSIA Staten Island.
You're listening to WSIA Staten Island.
This is Northeast Public Radio, WAMC FM HD 90.3 Albany, WRUN HD 90.3 Remsen Utica, WAMK HD 90.9 Kingston, WOSR HD 91.7 Middletown, WCEL HD 91.9 Plattsburgh, WCAN HD 93.3 Canajoharie, WANC HD 103.9 Ticonderoga, WAMQ HD 105.1 Great Barrington, WWES HD 88.9 Mount Kisco, WANZ HD 90.1 Stamford, WANR 88.5 Brewster, WQQQ 103.3 Sharon, WAMC AM 1400 Albany.
For over 30 years, we've been the metro area's top spot for music and information, not heard anywhere else on your FM dial. We're WFDU Teaneck.
WFDU Teaneck.
89.1 FM WNYU New York.
This is The Hot Mix with Gunnar Haslam,
Justin Cudmore,
and Mike Servito. And you're listening to Beats in Space on WNYU 89.1 FM in New York City. Call the Beats in Space hotline, 646-481-8189.
You're listening to the essential WFDU HD1 Teaneck, the home of retro radio hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s, plus unique public radio for the New York metro area. Streaming worldwide at WFDU.FM.
Hey, what's up? This is Ken from Unearth, and you're listening to 89.5 WSOU South Orange.
This is WSOU FM, WSOU HD, South Orange, New Jersey, with me, the conductor. Right now, it's time for the loudest rock.
Alleviate your symptoms and get right with a daily dose of our proven heavy metal elixir right here on 89.5 FM WSOU in South Orange, New Jersey. The loudest rock.
Keep that dial cranked to 11 because you're listening to 89.5 FM WSOU in South Orange, New Jersey.
You don't need to be enrolled here to experience Jersey's only institution of heavy metal higher learning. Live and loud from Seton Hall University, this is WSOU 89.5 FM in South Orange, New Jersey.
College? Those guys from Seton Hall were 7 feet tall, some of them. Took an academic leave anyway.
La canción fue Esa Mujer Abraza Mi Vida, de los éxitos de Kenito Méndez. Una canción buena para bailar en un merenguito. Ya son la medianoche. Estás oyendo WKR. Bueno, perdón, se me olvidó esta estación. WKCR 89.9 FM Nueva York. Y para los que no hablan español, you're listening to WKCR 89.9 FM New York or WKCR.org online. Y por el internet puede oír WKCR.com.
This is WKCR FM New York, and you're listening to Composed on the Tongue with your host, Ann Kamen.
This is WKCR 89.9 FM New York and WKCR HD1.
You are listening to 90.3 WMSC up in Montclair, New Jersey.
This is WFUV New York. We are City Folk and more on member-supported public radio, broadcasting from Fordham, the Jesuit University of New York. Hear us at 90.7 FM and WFUV.org.
I'm Jay Trelease on WFUV.
This is WFUV and WFUV HD New York. We're member-supported public radio, broadcasting from Fordham, the Jesuit University of New York. Hear us at 90.7 FM and WFUV.org.
It's WFUV New York and WNYE New York. WFUV is listener-supported public media from Fordham, the Jesuit University of New York. Music discovery starts here.
WFMU East Orange, WMFU Mount Hope, WFMU.org on the web. I'm Bill Kelly. Thanks for listening. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. I'm off this week, heading down to the shore. Party on, Garth.
This is WFMU East Orange, WMFU Mount Hope, and WFMU.org. Peace.
WFMU East Orange, WFMU Mount Hope in New York City and Rockland County at 91.9 FM. Online at WFMU.org, baby.
This is WNYE FM, Radio New York.
This is WNYE FM, New York.
This is WNYE New York.
This is WNYE New York. You're listening to 91.5 FM WNYE New York.
From the top of the Howard Stern Building, WXRK, New York, 92.3 K-Rock. WXRK, New York, 92.3 K-Rock. Great rock, period. All day long, every hour. Brand new Foo Fighters. Only on 92.3 K-Rock. Now. WXRK, New York, 92.3 K-Rock. Great rock, period.
WXRK, New York.
92.3 K-Rock. WXRK, New York.
The American Revolution.
Coming January 3rd.
Revolution.
The new
Revolution.
92.3 Free FM. It's a free rock weekend.
Freedom.
Free FM. WFNY FM. New York. And streaming at 92.3freefm.com. WXRK, New York, 92.3 K-Rock. WXRK, New York, 92.3 K-Rock. The Rock of New York is back. WXRK, New York. 92.3 K-Rock. K-Rock, WXRK FM HD2, New York. The Rock of New York, streaming at krockradio.com. K-Rock, 92.3 HD2, K-Rock. Stand by. 92.3 K-Rock, WXRK HD1 New York. Thanks to thousands of loyal listeners for your support over the years. K-Rock is moving to 92.3 HD2 New York and krockradio.com. For New York sports fans, you can listen to WFAN 660 AM at 92.3 HD3 or WFAN.com.
Launch authorization received. Countdown sequence initiated.
In 4 minutes, it will be now. Go! WXRK and WXRK HD1 New York.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is the sound of now. 92.3 Now FM.
Turn it up, okay.
Everybody in the house!
The new 92.3 Now FM, New York. Go! WXRK and WXRK HD1 New York. Powered by McDonald's Crispy Golden Filet-O-Fish Sandwich.
ladies and gentlemen,
This is the sound of now. 92.3 Now FM.
10,000 songs in a row with 0 minutes of commercials. Turn it up, okay.
everybody in the house!
The new 92.3 Now FM, New York. WXRK FM and HD1 New York.
This is the sound of the greatest city in the world. The sound of 92.3 Now. New York.
Come on!
Commercial-free Mondays. Hit music. Now.
WXRK and HD1 New York. When you stand here today and look around, you can't help but remember where you were when it happened. And we will never forget. New York's new 92.3 Now.
Okay.
Yo!
WXRK FM and HD1 New York.
This is the start of your morning.
Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning, man.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Isn't it a lovely morning?
Morning, Sam. Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, Angels.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Morning star shines. The earth says hello.
Trick or treat.
Rolling with Nick Cannon is on. New York's new 92.3 Now.
Identify yourself.
It says WXRK FM and HD1 New York on our ID. But even our mama just calls us 92.3.
Don't you take that home with me?
Now.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 53 degrees at 1 o'clock on this.
We want to take a moment to thank our sister station, 92.3 Now, for allowing us to broadcast 1010 Wins during this time of emergency. This is 1010 Wins. Sarah Miller, our service aide, Julie Vaughn, the writer. Jim Maloney is at the editor's desk. And I'm Paul James. Our coverage continues with Larry Mullins coming up next. This is WXRK-FM and HD1 New York.
Always on radio.com.
WNOW-FM and HD1 New York.
And you say New York City right about now.
This is New York's 92.3 Now.
Always on radio.com.
WNOW-FM and HD1 New York.
92.3 Now. Always on radio.com.
WNOW-FM and HD1 New York.
92.3 Now. Can't stop, won't stop. WBMP and WBMP HD1.
New York City.
92.3 AMP Radio.
Caller 92 right now scores $100 and qualifies to see Major Lazer live in Miami
At 888-923-0923. Call now.
We are New York's new alternative.
WBMP FM and HD1 New York.
Alt 92.3.
WCAA, Garden City, New York. Buenas, 92.7, puro México. Con el show número 1 en el país. Violín por la mañana. Hecho en México. Una estación de la familia Univisión.
Esta es WQBU, Garden City, New York.
92.7.
92.7.
Una estación de euforia.
WPAT-FM Patterson 93.1. Amor, New York. Número 1 en música romántica.
WPAT-FM Patterson, una estación de Raúl Alarcón, 93.1. Amor, ahora más música, sin comerciales.
WPLJ and WPLJ HD1, New York. WFME and WFME HD1, Newark. A Cumulus station. You're locked in to the station powered by
Beyonce, Kelly Clarkson,
Gavin DeGraw,
Lady Gaga, One Direction,
and all of New York's best music. WPLJ and WPLJ HD1, New York. WRXP and WRXP HD1, Newark. A Cumulus station. You're locked in to the station powered by
Carly Rae Jepsen,
Matchbox 20,
Rihanna,
Daughtry,
Pink,
One Republic,
and all of New York's best music. This is PLJ with Scott and Todd in the morning and today's best music. 95.5 WPLJ, New York. Where are we? 95.5 FM. Playing the smash hits you grew up with and today's best music. All on 95.5 WPLJ, New York. WPLJ and WPLJ HD1, New York. A Cumulus station. You're on 95.5 PLJ. Playing New York.
What's happening in New York? We are fun.
Best.
What's up? This is Pink.
Music.
Yo, what's up? This is Usher.
All the best music. Always.
It's Flush the Format Friday. Live from New York, it's Scott and Todd in the morning on PLJ.
WPLJ New York. 903. Come on, let's go.
Federally authorized for broadcast on 95.5 FM. This is WPLJ, New York.
From WPLJ New York, the PLJ Weather Channel forecast.
Listen.
PLJ, I like the music. Mix of everything. 70s, 80s, 90s. The great mix of music. New and old.
It's a better mix of music on WPLJ, New York.
The best mix.
The best mix of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
I like the variety of music.
Good mix.
Good mix of music. They got the greatest mix of everything.
This is WPLJ, New York. PLJ version 2002. Powered by Scott and Todd in the morning.
Matchbox 20.
You too. Lenny Kravitz.
And the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. This is WPLJ, New York.
Hey, Race, what's up? This is Alex. And this is Aaron from The Calling. Time for the PLJ 5 o'clock free ride. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
5 o'clock. Time to downshift from the cube to the car. Get off the phone. Get on home with Race Taylor and the 5 o'clock free ride. On 95.5 WPLJ, New York.
Activating now.
The WPLJ New York All Request Lunch Hour.
The best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today by your request.
Call 1-800-321-WPLJ.
Until 1 o'clock, your request, I'll put you in the running for a pair of tickets for the B-52s, Central Park Summer Stage, July 26th. And your choice, win them before you can buy them. John Mellencamp, either at Jones Beach, July 20th, or PNC Bank Art Center, July 21st.
I would love to be in that Daily Double.
Okay.
Hurt So Good by John Mellencamp.
Initiating now. The WPLJ New York Retro Request Hour.
You're now in charge. Tell Jamie Lee what to play.
At 1-800-321-WPLJ. Now, Scott and Todd reach into the PLJ Vinyl Vault. This is Flush the Format Friday on WPLJ New York. PLJ's $10,000 secret sound number 6. Guess it and win 10 grand. From WPLJ New York. The home of cash, cars, and stars. This is WPLJ New York. Broadcasting from high above the world's most famous arena. The best mix of the 80s, 90s, and today is always on. 95.5 WPLJ New York. WPLJ New York. There's only one station that plays the best mix of the 80s, 90s, and today. This is it. WPLJ New York. The home of Scott and Todd. Scott and Todd in the morning. Scott and Todd. WPLJ New York. It's Christmas Eve in America, and you're listening to the 24 Hours of Christmas on WPLJ New York.
Keep your radio on 95.5 all weekend long for your shot to win free tickets to see Train up close and personal at the China Club Monday night, January the 30th. It's from your friends at WPLJ New York.
Now, PLJ's playing more variety than ever. Like Sheryl Crow, Daughtry, and Alicia Keys. Get the most variety on WPLJ New York. Scott and Todd in the morning and today's best hits. Today's best hits on one station.
95.5 WPLJ New York.
Get your request in. We'll get it on. The All Request Lunch Hour. The All Request Lunch Hour. Firing up right now. On 95.5 WPLJ New York.
1-800-321-WPLJ is the telephone number to get qualified for the Daily Double today. I am Joey Kramer. We hit the email to kick off the lunch hour. Darlene and Lindenhurst excited for the Tina Turner tour later this year. You Better Be Good to Me is on PLJ.
Sometimes the wrong directions bring you to the right place.
WPLJ FM and HD1 New York, a Cumulus station.
We are so glad you found us. Come on in. Make yourself at home.
New York's 95.5.
WNSH, Newark, New York, a Cumulus station. Powered by Nash, Country for Life. America's country station.
This is Carrie Underwood.
This is Liz Brown. They're all here on the world's biggest country station. The all-new WNSH, Newark, New York, a Cumulus station. Powered by Nash, Country for Life. America's country station.
This is Reba. This is Blake Shelton.
They're all here on the world's biggest country station. The all-new WNSH, Newark, New York, a Cumulus station. Powered by Nash, Country for Life. America's country station.
This is George Strait.
This is Carrie Underwood.
They're all here on the world's biggest country station. The all-new
WNSH FM and HD1. New York City, a Cumulus station. Welcome to the Nash FM 94.7 Beach House.
Feels nice just to sit and dream, doesn't it? You down the shore a whole week, family, friends, whoever you want. The Nash FM 94.7 Beach House. But now you need this Beach Pass word to unlock the secret page. The word is lobster, as in might be having some lobster at the beach house that was caught right out in front of your house. Go to NashFM947.com and enter lobster. You might be headed to the beach house.
This is New York's Country, waking you up with Ty, Kelly, and Scott. Nash FM 94.7, the Tri-State Big Three. New York's #1 for throwbacks.
94.7 The Block.
WXBK FM and HD1 Newark. Always live on the free Odyssey app. WXBK HD2 Newark, New York City. New York's country is driven by Ramsey Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Exceptional people, exceptional deals.
Love this city. Love this country. New York's country. 94.7 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
WLTW New York, HD2. It's New York Country, 106.7 HD2.
Big D and Bubba invade New York City on WLTW 106.7 HD2. New York Country.
WPLJ and WPLJ HD2 New York. Finally, a radio station that plays your music. This is the True Oldies Channel. WPLJ and WPLJ HD2 New York. Groups that start with the letter B. Blondie, Bread, Boston, The Beatles. We're spotlighting them on the Killer Bees weekend. Believe it.
True Oldies Channel.
It's the best music.
60s and 70s music is back on the radio. At WCBS FM HD3, New York. Breaking transmitters all across the USA. With 1 million watts of music memories. This is the one and only True Oldies Channel. The oldies are back. WCBS FM HD3 New York. The station that still plays the 60s and 70s and a whole lot of Motown. You're on the True Oldies Channel.
WPLJ FM HD2 95.5 New York, a Cumulus station broadcasting from the Entergy studio and online at WFASFM.com.
103.9 WFAS, Bronxville.
A Cumulus station.
WFAS-FM and HD1 Knoxville, New York.
103.9 WFAS-FM. Where the magic of the holidays comes alive right here.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
Hi, this is Christina Aguilera.
Hey, this is Chris from the band Doctrine. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All your favorite Christmas music by the biggest stars of all time on one station. Westchester's holiday hit station. Transmitting Energy Studio. This is Cumulus Media's 103.9 WFAS-FM.
Merry Christmas.
The radio home for the holidays.
103.9 WFAS-FM and HD1 Bronxville, New York. A Cumulus station powered by...
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
Hey, we're fun.
Hi, I'm Gautier.
Hey, it's Katy Perry.
Hey, my name is Jesse. My name is Adam. We're from the band Maroon 5.
Transmitting live from our FAS-FM Entergy studios. Playing music for you, Westchester, Rockland, and the Bronx. We are 103.9 FAS-FM, New York. 103.9 WFAS-FM and HD1 Bronxville, New York. A Cumulus station powered by... Transmitting live from our FAS-FM Entergy studios. Playing music for you, Westchester, Rockland, and the Bronx. We are 103.9 FAS-FM, New York.
WFAF Mount Kisco,
A Cumulus station. The best songs that define Christian music. 95.5 WPLJ, HD2 New York. K-Love 90s.
You're listening to New York's positive, encouraging K-Love. 96.7 WKLV FM, Portchester, New York City.
Air One. Worship now. 96.7 FM and WPLJ 95.5 HD2 New York.
Worship every morning with Dan and Michelle on Air One. Worship now. Air One.
96.7 and WPLJ 95.5 HD3 New York.
Your home for worship. Listener supported Air One.
Air One. Worship now. 96.7 WARW Port Chester, New York. Also on 95.5 HD2.
Worship.
WRDR-FM Freehold, WJUX-FM South Fallsburg, WPLJ HD3 New York, The Bridge.
You are listening to WZYE-LP 95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey, broadcasting from Essex County.
You're on the classical station of the New York Times, WQXR, New York.
9:05 here on the classical station of the New York Times, WQXR New York, and WQXR.com. 9 o'clock, Elliot Forrest sitting in for Jeff Spurgeon. Time for WQXR News. From the newsroom of the New York Times, here is Steve Knight.
The Wedding Day at Trollhagen, one of the lyric pieces of Edvard Grieg, played by the mullet-wearing pianist Leif Ove Ansnes on the classical station of the New York Times. Sure, he looks fine in a tux with it. This is WQXR New York and WQXR.com. The time is 7 o'clock. It's Friday morning. Yes, a little bit of rain, but it'll go away, and then we'll have a cold weekend. Forecast today cloudy with a chance of rain or drizzle this morning. Breezy, gradual clearing at a high of 44 degrees. Light rain and 37 now.
Nocturne number 1 for piano of Eric Satie, the pianist Pascal Roger. Coming up, music of Schoenberg, Mozart, and Puccini in the next hour here on WQXR, the classical station of the New York Times, WQXR New York, and WQXR.com. It's 11 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Candace Agree with you for just about another hour. Right now it's fair and 85 degrees in Midtown. Tomorrow, hot and humid with highs in the lower 90s, partly sunny and hazy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Lows tomorrow night in the mid-70s, but in the early evening it will feel as if it were in the mid-90s because of heat index values. Next on WQXR, music of Arnold Schoenberg, Verklärte Nacht, Transfigured Night, Opus 4. Thomas Zerhatmeyer leads the Camerata Bern.
Cellist Truls Mork with the Oslo Philharmonic Orchestra, conducted by Maris Janssens, Tchaikovsky's Variations on a Rococo theme for cello. For many decades now, 96.3 FM has played your favorite music. Well, in our very last hour as 96.3 FM, we'll play some of our favorite music, introduced by our wonderful Tom Bartunek, here on the classical station of the New York Times. This is WQXR New York and WQXR.com.
This is Tom Bartunek. One of the first classical recordings with which I fell in love was a Frederick Fennell Eastman Wind Ensemble performance of the Crown Imperial March of William Walton, which was written for the coronation of George VI of England. Years after I heard it, I had the good fortune to meet Frederick Fennell and tell him how much I enjoyed it. And he told me a great story. He said that they used to make those recordings late at night. Of course, these were on the Mercury Living Presence label in the Eastman Theater in Rochester. And he remembered that particular performance because he told me they did it in one take. Normally, of course, in a recording, you try it several times and sometimes even piece together segments of it. And he told me that while they were playing, and he shared this with other members of the orchestra later, everyone knew that this was a special moment, a tremendous ensemble. Everyone was precise. Everyone was recognizing what a great moment this was. And after they finished it, there was silence in the room, and everyone was enjoying and glorying in this moment. The producer's voice came over the intercom and said, "Okay, let's try it again." And Frederick said, and I turned around and looked at him and I said, "No!" And that's the performance that made it to the recording, and you'll hear it now. The Crown Imperial March, music of William Walton, Frederick Fennell, and the Eastman Wind Ensemble.
Ha sido la emisora de la música clásica del New York Times, WQXR New York y WQXR.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Bartunek, President and General Manager of WQXR. On March 26, 1929, engineer John Hogan began transmitting classical music on experimental radio station W2XR. On December 3, 1936, Hogan and advertising executive Elliot Sanger converted the experimental station to WQXR-AM, the first commercial classical music radio station in America. On November 8, 1939, Hogan and Sanger launched WQXR-FM, one of the first FM radio stations in the country. On July 18, 1944, the New York Times took ownership of WQXR AM and FM. And now, another milestone moment has arrived. WQXR is about to begin its new life as a public radio station, owned and operated by WNYC, and broadcasting at 105.9 FM. Thus, October 8, 2009, will be as significant a date as all those others in WQXR's history, marking the latest in a long series of bold initiatives designed to further the station's mission and to secure its future. Under WNYC's stewardship, WQXR's future should be as bright as its past.
This is WQXR, New York's only high-fidelity station.
So now, I will say good night to you. Please write to me as to the experiment that we have just completed. And if you will, please include your comments on the program, and I hope you won't forget to tell your friends about WQXR. So, thank you, and good night.
This is Bill Strauss, and bidding you all a very good evening. We return you now to our studios.
This is George Jelinek.
Concluding 65 years as the radio station of the New York Times, this is WQXR, New York. And now we invite you to tune your radio to 105.9 FM and go live to Carnegie Hall for the launch of the new WQXR.
Try again later. 96.3. 96.3. 96.3. Tonight at 8.
Lo sentimos.
WCAA, New York.
This is Classical 105.9 FM, WQXR, New York.
On Classical 105.9 FM WQXR. Music of Bach and of Clara Schumann. Those are Clara Schumann's fugues on some Bach themes. The pianist in that performance, Joseph de Beenhoover. And this is Classical 105.9 FM WQXR, Newark and New York. It's a minute after 6 o'clock and time to check the news. From the WNYC newsroom, here's Carrie Nolan.
Late 20th century ragtime music, Raggin' Rudy by William Bolcom, performed by pianist John Murray. You're listening to Classical 105.9 FM, WQXR, Newark and New York. It's a minute past 6 o'clock, and from the WNYC newsroom, here is Isaac Davy Aronson.
On listener-supported Classical 105.9 FM, WQXR, Newark and New York. Online at WQXR.org and now on your smartphone with a free app for iPhone and Android. Download the app at WQXR.org/mobile. Hello to you. It's now 2 minutes after noon. This Sunday, Annie Bergen in for Elliot. And once again, something from our featured album of the week, The Canadian Brass Takes Flight.
This is Classical New York, 105.9 FM at HD, WQXR Newark, and 90.3 FM, WQXW Ossining. It's 7 o'clock. Good morning. This is indeed WQXR's All the Money and Half the Time membership drive.
This is New Sounds, an HD channel of WQXR Newark and New York, and online at newsounds.org.
WXNY, New York. Here it goes. The Manny Show. El Monstro de la Radio. 96.3.
WXNY FM, New York.
Somos Univisión Radio.
X96.3.
WCTZ Stanford and worldwide at 967thecoast.com.
Good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock with Lisa Taylor. You're listening to the new 97.1 WYNY, New York.
From the top of the Empire State Building, 97.1 WQHT, New York. 97. WQHT, New York City.
Hey, yo, check it out.
Hot 97.
Hot 97, baby.
The only place you can get your tickets to the biggest concert event in the universe. Summer Jam.
Keep your radio right here to win your tickets. Hot 97.
New York's #1 station, blazing hip-hop and R&B.
WQHT, New York City.
Wake up!
WQHT, New York.
Yo, what's beef info?
Celebrity drama.
Celebrity drama, mama. The Inside School.
With Miss Info.
On Hot 97.
Hot 97. WQHT, New York.
Yeah. It's WQHT, New York City, Hot 97.
WQHT and WQHT HD1, New York. We're putting $500,000 in your hand.
Coming up
on Hot 97. Mega 97.9. WSKQ, New York.
La estación hispana más escuchada en América. El hogar de Luis y Moon y el original vacilón de la mañana.
Mega 97.9.
Y ahora más Mega Mezcla.
WSKQ, New York.
En vivo desde la capital del mundo.
Mega York transmite
el planeta. Escucha 97.9 FM en tu radio.
Y en el internet por lamega.com.
Esta es la mundialmente famosa
97.9.
WSKQ, New York. It's ready.
97.9 La Mega. La estación hispana más imitada en América. Esta es
La Mega. WSKQ FM, WSKQ HD1 New York, 97.9 La Mega.
Yo soy la salsa.
Estación oficial del concierto La Salsa Vive, 15 de noviembre, Madison Square Garden. Para más información, conéctate a lamega.com.
On Caribbean Radio, WSKQ FM, HD2, New York.
And now, back to the music.
Yes, massive. This is Allison Hines, better known to you as the Soca Queen. And you are listening and locked on to One Caribbean Radio, the voice of the Caribbean.
WRKS FM, New York City.
98.7 KISS FM. Home of the KISS Wake Up Club. It's a KISS FM Love Fest winning weekend. Your free tickets to one of our intimate concerts is on the way. On 98.7 KISS FM. WRKS, New York City. New York City. Go ahead and take your shoes off. Slip into something more comfortable and unwind with Lenny Green inside Kissing After Dark.
On 98.7 KISS FM.
WRKS FM, New York City.
Holla, 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 holla. Get ready to holla for your dollar.
KISS FM has $1,000 for your best holla.
Holla back, youngin'.
98.7 KISS FM.
At a minute past 7, 98.7 KISS WRKS FM, New York.
The best variety of old school and today's R&B. We are WRKS, New York City.
98.7 KISS FM.
More with the baddest man of radio.
WRKS, New York, 98.7 KISS FM, celebrating 30 years.
WRKS FM, New York. Tom Joyner in the morning and the Michael Baisden Show afternoons. New York's favorite classic soul and today's R&B on 98.7 KISS FM. WRKS FM, New York.
I'm KISS FM's morning man, Isaac Hayes.
DJ Red Alert.
98.7 KISS FM is saying farewell, New York.
KISS FM has been a voice in this community for 30 years. And today, we say goodbye. The entire KISS family and WBLS family will become one station.
Beginning Monday at midnight.
Home DC on HD Radio. Hear the difference. You're listening to Hum Desi Radio, a division of World Band Media. on WRKS 98.7 HD2 New York City.
WBAI New York 99.5 FM, your free speech radio station, streaming live at www.wbai.org. It's your girl E. Faye right here on your listener-supported radio station.
On Sunday, November 3rd at 11 p.m., Sugar in My Bowl will feature Pat Thomas, author of Listen Whitey, The Sights and Sounds of Black Power, 1965 through 1975. Pat will join us live in the studio to discuss the role this music played in the struggle. That's Sunday, November 3rd at 11 p.m., right here on WBAI New York, 99.5 FM, and WBAI.org on the web.
Mora Communications, WHTZ, New York City.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
I love the music.
Everything is going on now.
It's on all the time.
It's good music to get you flowing, get your energy level up.
My radio station never moves.
WHTZ, New York City.
Today's best music.
Z100% New York.
The top of the Empire State Building. Know the phrase that pays, and you can win cash and qualify to win Mr. Leonard's Lime Green Pinto.
Z100 means today's best music. Now give me my money.
WHTZ, New York City.
Z100.
Z100. An adventure
10 in a row.
is beginning. Z100.
It's Romeo on the radio. Coming up, I got them for you. More Zootopia concert tickets. Hang on to win within 30.
New York. This is Gwen from No Doubt.
Yo, what the deal? It's Ja Rule.
Hey, this is Pink.
New York's number 100, where hit music lives. WHTZ, New York City. Z100. WHTZ, New York City.
New York's number one hit music station is Z100.
WHTZ, New York City.
High definition on Z100 HD.
Z100.
WHTZ, New York City.
An iHeart radio station. All the hits wherever you are.
FM.
HD.
Satellite.
Online at Z100.com.
And on your mobile device with the iHeart Radio app.
Download it now.
WHTZ, New York City.
Z100. Listen.
Can't stop. WHTC, Newark, New York City.
Commercial free. From the top of the Empire State Building. WHTZ FM and HD2, New York City.
Z100.
An iHeart radio station. Listen on the free iHeart radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Free never sounded so good.
Let's go.
This is the Max Attack.
Oh, yeah.
What's up? I'm DJ Maxwell.
Nickelodeon.
You ready to party?
You know it.
All the hits, all the slide. WHTZ, HD2, Newark, New York City.
This is Nick Radio. 101
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York. Greatest hits of all time. New York. 9 o'clock with Mike Fitzgerald. Welcome to Monday Night 70.
101.1 WCBS FM, New York.
And now, Mike Fitzgerald with the greatest hits of all time.
CBS FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York. Greatest hits of all time. home for Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. The greatest hits of all time from the greatest city in the world. New York.
I've got them on all day at work.
Great station.
CBS FM.
101.1 WCBS FM.
Tonight in the CBS FM Hall of Fame, the music of Donna Summer.
8 o'clock and I'm Mike Fitzgerald.
New York's home for Motown, soul, and great rock and roll. The greatest hits of all time from the greatest city in the world. New York, New York.
101.1 WCBS FM.
A news update from New York's FM information leader, CBS FM 101.1.
Playing the greatest hits of all time from the top of the Empire State Building. This is New York's world famous CBS FM.
101.1 WCBS FM. New York.
101.1 WCBS FM New York.
Once an hour, we have to say
WCBS FM New York.
But you can call us Jack.
WCBS FM New York.
In your dreams. Actually, it's Jack FM.
Now broadcasting in digital quality HD radio. WCBS FM New York.
Jack.
This is 101.1 Jack FM, playing what we want. Now broadcasting in digital quality HD radio. WCBS FM, New York.
Jack, now I will stand in the rain on the corner. Be free tonight. Right now, get it up. Jack, come on, start a love train. Don't need no Jack,
This is 101.1 Jack FM, playing what we want. Now broadcasting in digital quality HD radio. WCBS FM, New York.
Jack.
This is 101.1 Jack FM, playing what we want. Jack is 101.1 WCBS FM, New York.
It may be 5 years later, but we're just as united in our resolve today as we were 5 years ago, and make sure that we never, ever forget the memories of those we lost that day.
Jack FM will never forget. Now broadcasting in digital quality HD radio and worldwide at iLikeJack.com. WCBS FM, New York. WCBS FM, New York. This is Jack's Almost Acoustic Christmas. WCBS FM, New York.
Is this heaven?
No. This is Jack's Excellent 80s Diner. Sponsored by Diet Pepsi Max. Diet Pepsi Max with ginseng and more caffeine will wake you up. This is Jack's Excellent 80s Diner.
They took CBS FM off the air. Welcome back, CBS FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York. Greatest hits of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
101.1 WCBS FM, New York.
Hey, this is Al Jardine and the Beach Boys. Glad to have you back, CBS FM. What do you say we do it again?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York. Come back to CBS FM and let's get on with the show.
101.1 WCBS FM, New York.
gentlemen, you're listening to Nats Kinko.
WCBS-FM.
902. Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York.
WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1 New York.
The greatest hits of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, New York.
WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1 New York.
The greatest hits of the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1, New York's greatest hits.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1. This is CBS-FM's A to Z Countdown.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1, New York's greatest hits.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York. 101.1.
Powered by New York Oil Heating Association and NORA. Today's oil heat provides safe, reliable, intelligent warmth for homes and businesses.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and HD1, New York's greatest hits.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York. CBS-FM.
WCBS-FM and HD1 New York.
You're listening to CBS-FM's 40th anniversary celebration.
WCBS-FM. New York, New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and HD1. This is CBS-FM's A to Z number ones countdown.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Always on radio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and HD1, New York's home for the holidays.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Always on radio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, from the greatest city in the world, WCBS-FM and HD1, New York's greatest hits.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Always on radio.com.
New York weather.
Okay, so we got the foghorn blowing. Oh man, showing it going all night long with a low of only 55, which ain't bad. Showers, and in the afternoon, perhaps a thunderstorm, and so warm it's going up to 71. Now 55 River Edge, 54 Riverdale, 53 downtown, ready to sail with more of New York's greatest hits. It's straight up at 6.
Live from the StubHub studio, WCBS-FM and WCBS-FM HD1 New York.
101.1 WCBS-FM. New York.
Now there's two ways to listen to Tony. WCBS-FM 101.1 HD2 New York and 1011HD2.com.
This is
Tony.
This is the Pix Penthouse Party on Pix 102 WPIX-FM, New York's rock and roll.
We're having a party.
seat dancing this morning. You too in your car? Okay. It's got that thing going on. It's got that groove. Marvin Gaye got to give it up. Smooth Jazz, CD 101.9. It's 8 o'clock at WQCD New York. Smooth Jazz, CD 101.9. Forward Emotion, Pieces of a Dream. It's 7 o'clock at WQCD New York. Good morning. I'm Dennis Quinn.
Where new music, classic rock, and alternative merge. WRXP New York. The rock experience continues on the new 1019 RXP. Where new music, classic rock, and alternative merge. WRXP New York and 1019RXP.com. The rock experience continues. The Rock Show. Matt Penfield and Leslie Fram on WRXP New York and 1019RXP.com.
Monday morning, 7:59.
WEMP.
WEMP HD1.
New York. 1019 FM News.
WRXP. WRXP HD1. New York.
1019 FM News.
WEMP. WEMP HD1 New York. This is New York's one and only FM all-news station. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is FM News 101.9.
It is 11 p.m. I'm Maureen Langen. Good evening.
WEMP. WEMP HD1 New York. FM News 101.9. Traffic and weather on the fives. This hour's top trending stories and 10 minutes of non-stop news now. It's 4 o'clock. WEMP. WEMP HD1 New York. FM News 101.9. The top trending story starts 10 minutes of non-stop news now. WEMP. WEMP HD1 New York. It's 6 o'clock. FM News 101.9. Traffic and weather on the fives. This hour's top trending stories and 10 minutes of non-stop news now.
Of Monsters and Men, Mountain Sound.
WRXP FM, WRXP HD1 New York.
This is Smooth 101.9. WRXP HD2 New York. The new home of smooth jazz in New York.
This is Smooth 101.9 WEMP HD2 New York, the home of smooth jazz.
You are listening to The Bet New York. WFAN FM HD3 New York. New York's home for wagertainment. An Odyssey station.
Howard. By Opie and Anthony. Owned by Infinity Broadcasting. This is 102.7 WNEW. New York.
New station 102.7 coming this spring. WNEW New York. WNEW New York 1027 Blink, the first FM station in New York to broadcast in high definition radio.
My mom said that she knew I was going to be a singer, and ever since I was very young, I'd always like jumping around, singing, saying, "Everyone look at me!" And my mom knew that she had to get me singing in front of like crowds.
1027 Blink, song tag, Avril Lavigne.
I went to church, so I was singing at church, but I never got to sing on my own. It was always like duets and stuff. And my mom would push for me. My parents were very supportive and just like pushed for me. And finally, when I was 10, I got to my first solo. And after that, everyone was like, "Wow."
Blink.
WNEW New York 1027 Blink, first in FM digital HD radio.
Emanating from the center of your world, New York's new 1027.
Blink.
Blink. New York.
Booker and Lopez. Now on your radio.
It is 9:02.
WNEW New York 1027 Blink, first in FM digital HD radio.
Lopez.
WNEW New York. This is the new 102.7 Blink FM.
WWFS New York. This is New York's fresh new sound. The new fresh 102.7. Not like the old light. It's today's soft music. Fresh 102.7 New York. WWFS New York.
WWFS-FM, WWFS HD1 New York.
This is New York's fresh new sound. The new Fresh 102.7.
Not like the old light.
We're today's fresh music.
102.7 New York.
WWFS-FM, WWFS HD1 New York.
WWFS-FM, WWFS HD1 New York.
This is New York's fresh new sound. Fresh 102.7.
It's today's fresh music.
Not too old, not too light. It's fresh.
102.7 New York.
WWFS-FM, WWFS HD1 New York.
We're today's fresh music station for New York.
Powered by New York Oil Heating Association and NORA. Today's oil heat provides safe, reliable, intelligent warmth for homes and businesses.
102.7 New York.
WWFS-FM, WWFS HD1 New York.
We're today's fresh music station for New York.
Powered by New York Oil Heating Association and NORA. Today's oil heat provides safe, reliable, intelligent warmth for homes and businesses.
102.7 New York.
WWFS-FM and HD1 New York.
A commercial-free hour of the best variety of the 90s, 2K, and today to kick off your workday starts this morning at 8:30. It's a fresh start to your workday.
Fresh 102.7 New York.
WWFS-FM and HD1 New York.
Fresh music, better variety.
Fresh 102.7 New York.
Always on radio.com.
WWFS-FM and HD1 New York.
Always on radio.com.
New York's Fresh 102.7 presents Fresh Acoustic Sunrise.
I belong with you. You belong with me, my sweet. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Acoustic Sunrise.
Sunday mornings at 7.
Sponsored by Metro PCS. Wireless for all.
Fresh Acoustic Sunrise.
Only on Fresh 102.7.
Fresh music.
I love the variety.
Better variety.
Everything's fresh and new.
WNEW-FM, WNEW HD1.
New York.
Live from the StubHub studio.
WNEW-FM, WNEW HD1.
New York.
WWFS HD2 New York.
Last FM discovers.
The Scottish band recently released their debut LP called These Four Walls, and incidentally their first gig was a Battle of the Bands competition in high school, and guess what? They won. This is a song called Quiet Little Voices from the band We Were Promised Jetpacks.
WWFS-FM HD2 New York. Always on radio.com. Smooth Jazz 102.7. WNEW-FM HD2 New York. Always on radio.com. Smooth Jazz 102.7.
This is WYNY, Lake Success, New York. May we have your attention if you are listening in the greater New York metropolitan area. What you are about to witness is the birth of a new radio station. A station that has been designed exclusively for New York. During the last several months, 103.5 FM has been talking and listening to thousands of radio listeners in the tri-state area. What you are about to hear is the direct result of your ideas. You told us you wanted a radio station that plays music you don't hear enough of on Hot 97, Z100, and WPLJ. Music you can dance to. Music that you can romance to. Music that makes you feel alive. You've demanded a radio station that listens to you. Stand by. You are about to embark on a radio journey that will take you to new places and to some that are strikingly familiar. Our mission is to seek out new worlds of music and to let you take the helm of New York's new starship. You are now in the driver's seat. Here are the keys. Let's go for a test drive. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to the Beat of New York. 103.5, the new KTU New York. WYNY is now WKTU Lake Success, New York.
What is love?
Is the beat of New York.
WKTU, Lake Success, New York. 103.5, the new KTU. Home of the KTU $1 Million Money Vault. Clear Channel Worldwide. WKTU, Lake Success, New York. Dropping the beat like this. This is the beat of New York. WKTU, Success. 103.5, the new KTU, New York. Dropping the beat like this.
This is the beat of New York. WKTU. Home of Beatstock 2003. 103.5, the new KTU, New York. Here's another KTU Beatstock 2003 artist.
WKTU, Lake Success, New York.
Pulsating the beats through the streets of New York. This is the award-winning dance music leader. 103.5 KTU. The beat of New York.
WKTU, Lake Success, New York.
This is the KTU Latin Free-For-All with Jules Venturario and DJ Eddie Arroyo.
Reggaeton, Latin House, Freestyle para la chula de New York. The beat of New York. 103.5 KTU.
WKTU, Lake Success, New York. Now in HD Digital. KTU.com. WKTU, Lake Success, New York.
From the city that loves to dance, this is the radio station that makes you feel good 24 hours a day.
The beat of New York. 103.5
WKTU Lake Success, New York, an iHeart radio station. 103.5 KTU, the beat of New York.
Radio 103.9 with Tom Joyner Morning, DL Hughley Afternoon, and New York's best mix of R&B. WNBM Bronxville, New York, a cumulus station.
WMOV FM HD3 Norfolk, WXXL HD3 Tavares, KESZ HD3 Phoenix, KLTH HD3 Lake Oswego, WSNE FM HD3 Taunton, WPOC HD2 Baltimore, WBGG HD3 Fort Lauderdale.
This is Q1043, Clear Channel's WAXQ New York. More classic rock next.
Arbitron rated #1 in America for classic rock.
This is Q1043, WAXQ New York. Q1043, WAXQ New York.
An iHeart radio station.
Q1043, WAXQ New York. Dunkin' Donuts, Q1043 traffic. WAXQ HD2 New York. Rock Nation on Q1043 HD2.
It's getting late in the day. This wouldn't be a bad place to camp out.
WMXB New York.
WWPR FM New York.
Broadcasting in high definition.
Wake up! It's the Ed Lover Show in the morning. Streaming live online at power1051fm.com.
R&B and hip-hop in the back in the days joint.
WWPR FM HD1 New York.
And you are now tuned in to
DJ Clue 7 at 7. The 7 most powerful songs in NYC.
right here on your favorite station. Power 105.1.
New York's hip hop and R&B. WWPR FM HD1 New York. The Breakfast Club.
They started right.
With Envy, Angela, and Charlamagne.
Check them out, y'all.
Power 105.1, you know what it is. New York's hip hop and R&B.
HD1 New York.
An iHeart radio station. This weekend, your summer starts with Power.
Cold wilding out for the summertime. At our own PC Richard and Son Theater. Get your tickets all weekend.
Powered by Ciroc also
On Power 105.1.
R&B and the best hip-hop. Y'all stay tuned.
The Bronx Bomber. DJ Will is in the building.
Power 105.1.
What you wanna know? Hear the news that's trending all over the city. It's Trending Topics inside the Angie Martinez Show.
Queen of New York City right here on WWPR New York, Power 105.1.
An iHeart radio station.
WWPR FM Nueva York.
HD.
Alta definición.
Uno latino.
WCAA North New York. WCAA Garden City. Esta es la estación oficial de reggaetón en New York.
Sigue aquí con nosotros este que te habla, Don Omar, el rey del reggaetón.
Tengo Calderón, el callejero, pero elegante.
Hola mi gente, soy Romeo del Grupo Aventura y estás aquí en la calle 105.9, la emisora oficial de reggaetón en Nueva York. Jalo.
This is la calle.
Vamos pa' la calle, vamos pa' la calle hoy.
105.9
y 92.7 Long Island, papi.
Newark, New York. La emisora oficial del abuso. La calle 105.9. La casa de Luis Jiménez. Una estación Univisión Radio. WCAA. Newark, New York. La calle 105.9. La casa de Luis Jiménez. Una estación Univisión Radio. WCAA, Newark, New York. WCAA, Newark, New York.
You're tuned to 500 years of new music on Q2, WQXR's 24/7 music stream. For more information, visit q2live.org.
WLTW New York. And now, another long set of light songs on New York's one and only light music station. 106.7 Light FM.
Now in HD Digital.
WLTW.
New York's 106.7. Now in HD Digital.
WLTW.
New York's 106.7 Light FM.
Time to sing along on WLTW, New York's 106.7 Light FM.
106.7 Light FM, WLTW, New York.
Your soundtrack for the holiday season. WLTW, New York's 106.7 Light FM.
WLTW New York. Now, Light FM Dunkin' Donuts traffic.
It's a best of the 80s weekend on WLTW, New York's Light FM.
WLTW New York.
Starting right now on Light FM.
All of you, get ready.
It's commercial-free music with no interruptions for over an hour. Just when the workday starts to drag. Let's pick up the pace with music to pick you up and keep your workday moving along.
And it's brought to you by the New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. On the way, we've got music from the Eagles and Katy Perry. And, of course, we've got our artist of the day, Pink. When you hear Pink play between 2 and 2:30, it's worth $1,000 to caller 10. So good luck from 106.7 Light FM as we get started with Usher.
106.7 Light FM.
WLTW
New York.
WYNY, Briarcliff Manor, WWXY, Hampton Bays, WWYY, Belvedere, WWZY, Long Branch.
What's up, New York?
Con más música en la mañana. The only station that plays more music in the morning.
Rumba 107.
Okay, here we go. Ready? WXPK, Briarcliff Manor, White Plains. This is 107.1, The Peak.
Another long set of world-class rock begins now.
107.1 The Peak is WXPK,
Briarcliff Manor, White Plains.
World-class rock.
107.1 The Peak is
WXPK, Briarcliff Manor, White Plains.
World-class rock.
107.5 WBLS, home of today's R&B and classic soul. Anita Baker, R. Kelly, Shaka Khan, Fantasia, Marvin Gaye, Layla Hathaway, Brian McKnight, Barry White. It's the best of today's R&B and classic soul. 107.5.
At home of the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
WBLS New York. 107.5 WBLS New York. 107.5 WBLS, home of today's R&B and classic soul. Beyonce, Anita Baker, Fantasia, Mary J. Blige, Alicia Keys, R. Kelly. This is 107.5 WBLS, New York. Today's R&B and classic soul.
107.5 WBLS, New York.
It's The Quiet Storm with Keith Sweat on 107.5 WBLS. New York. Tri-State area. This is your number one source for R&B. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are 107.5 WBLS. And WBLS HD1, New York. 3 states, the web, and the largest city in the U.S. Yeah, that's BLS big. This is 107.5 WBLS. WBLS HD1, New York. 107.5 WBLS and WBLS HD, New York. Now in HD Digital.
More of your R&B jams, plus so much more, all on one station. This is Steve Harvey, and you know this is my station. 107.5 WBLS and WBLS HD1 New York.
time to get it turned up.
because it's about to go down. The turntables are fired up, the music is set, and it's about to go down. So turn that volume all the way up. It's the After Work Master Mix with DJ Enough on 107.5 WBLS and WBLS HD1, New York City. How you like that?